Welterweight bout. Stephen Thompson coming in at plus 425 against Shavkhat Rakhmonov. Sitting at minus 625. Over under 1.5 rounds, minus 180 for the over, plus 150 for the under. Shavkhat still undefeated, still never seen the scorecards. All wins by finish. That is just super impressive for having 17 fights. Stephen Thompson, 17 wins for him, 6 losses and a draw. 3-2 in his last 5. You see the age difference there, 29 years of age for Shavkhat and 40 years of age for Wonder Boy. This is a fun fight. It's a good test for Rakhmonov on the feet. Obviously, the path of least resistance would be to take Stephen Thompson down. But I don't know if Shavkat's going to do that. He showed in his last fight against Jeff Neal. He's willing to stand and bang it out. He did get the submission win in the 3rd round, but he was seen pretty dead set to, strike with Jeff Neal. So I don't know if he comes in here and does the same, or if he tries to take it to the ground early. But I would expect for him to come out and at least test his skills against Stephen Thompson on the feet. What are you thinking on this one?
Yeah, he's got to, in my opinion. And, first I'll start with Shavkhat by saying, and you touched on it, 17 fights, 17 finishes. When he came into the UFC, I thought the streak of a 100% finish rate would disappear at some point, early in his UFC career once he got to this level. But he's still doing it against the Neil Magny's and Jeff Neal's, guys who are tough and hard to put away. And he's been able to find ways to do it. So that's super impressive. But as far as, skill for skill, if this thing stays on the feet, I don't think Shavkhat looks like a minus 600 favorite in the least bit. I think if he's smart, he has to get to the grappling early, because if you leave Stephen Wonderboy Thompson in there fresh for 3 rounds without having to defend takedowns, he's going to make the fight close on the feet if he doesn't get knocked out. He's that good of a striker, possibly one of the best strikers we've ever seen in the UFC. He's just so technical and crafty, and he can hit you from anywhere he chooses. And it's a big mistake that even Kevin Holland played with him in their fight in Orlando. I was at that fight live, and I had Holland to win the fight, and he just never went to the grappling. He'd get him down and then just let him right back up because he wanted to prove a point. And he told him it was going to be a striking fight, and he followed through with that. And look what happened. He breaks his hand. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson puts, I don't know how many head kicks right on the chin, and finally gets the win via, technical stoppage. But if Shavkhat does that, I think Shavkat's more powerful. If he lands right, he's going to put Stephen Wonderboy Thompson in some trouble. But if he doesn't land that shot and he can't get in close because of the kicks and the side kicks and the crafty striking that Wonderboy brings, I think he struggles with him a little bit. I think he struggles to find the chin, maybe until later in the fight. So, looking at this, I wouldn't be opposed to sprinkling a bet on Wonderboy Thompson to win by decision, just to see what the odds are. The odds are going to be big. If he's already a plus 400, 500, whatever he is right now, it's going to be a big number. And if he does win, I think that's how he wins. I think he just outpoints Shavkhat, and if he gets his hand raised, that's how he does it. I do expect Shavkhat to test the striking a little bit, but he wants to get this win at the end of the day. I don't see a world where he doesn't test the grappling at some point, or at least put Wonderboy up against the fence and make him fight in close where he's not as comfortable as he would be at range. Shavkat's going to be my pick to win. Betting-wise, though, I think I have to sprinkle some Wonderboy props. Weird shit happens on pay-per-view cards, and it's happened all year long. It happened all year last year, and I don't see why this big card at the end of the year will be any different. We're going to see some weird shit happen.
Yeah, the thing that jumped off the board to me when I looked at those odds was the over 1.5, because Stephen Thompson's only been finished once in his entire career. That was against Anthony Pettis. But other than that, he's got, that's his only knockout loss. He's never been submitted. Shavkhat, all wins by finish. I think he's going to run into a guy that's just super tough. And I think Shavkhat probably comes out early, strikes with him, maybe finds out that, he's not levels above Stephen Thompson on the feet, and then looks to clinch a little bit more, look for some takedowns, and find his way into a fight where he can win more clearly. So I think Shavkhat by decision is probably something I'll be eyeing. I don't know. I haven't seen a price on it yet, but with him being that big of a favorite, obviously it's not like something you can play as like on the money line. You don't really want to take that. I mean, I guess you could throw it on a parlay, but you're not really adding too much there. So it's probably a fight you're going to have to look at some props if you don't like the Thompson side. I think Shavkhat by decision could be a sneaky little bet there because Thompson is just. I mean, we saw it against Bilal Muhammad, Gilbert Burns. He lost those decisions. Those guys wrestled him up. I think that's a way that Shavkhat could win this one. And Shavkhat is tough too. I mean, he's been knocked down in his career, but obviously never been finished. He's never lost. So I think this one could be a 3-round fight that goes the distance. And Shavkhat probably just going to mix in more weapons during the fight that I think he gets a decision win. But Stephen Thompson, we saw it against Kevin Holland, can still take big shots. Like he took some big shots by Kevin Holland early in the round, in round one, and he was still able to stay with it and ultimately get the win there. So Shavkhat by decision will be something I'm looking at. He'll be the pick for me. And we can move on if you don't got anything else.